Well, we welcome you into Blues Game Day Live alongside Joe Vitale, Darren Pang, making my return to the Blues broadcast. Great to see you again, Joe.
It's great to see you. You got a little color. How was your trip?
I got a little color. Well, it was a little bit warmer than here in Winnipeg.
Yes, I'm sure.
Jamaica has fine weather.
I'm sure. You're looking like a young Vin Diesel right now.
Thank you, big guy. I appreciate that.
You look great.
But you held the fort while I was gone?
We tried. Bernie did a wonderful job on the air. We had Alex do the Facebook the other day, and we hung on by a thread. We did miss you. I will be honest.
Thanks,
with you.
big guy.
We did miss you.
Well, we are in the final game, believe it or not, of the Blues and the Jets.
Yeah.
It's hard to believe that, I mean, the heavyweight matchup, the games have had a lot of ebb and flows to them. I really liked the last game that the Blues played right here in this building, Joe, where they really played well. We're leading in the game, 40 minutes of really solid hockey. I think the Blues, they like the challenge of being in this building. It's a great, obviously it's a great barn. How did the Blues get back to playing that kind of game? And do you forget as a player what happened with Patrick Laine in the last game?
No.
5 goals, 5 shots. Fairly dangerous player.
I'm still having nightmares.
I'm
a broadcaster. I can't imagine how the defense are feeling right now. He's a player you're going to have to eye in on.
Okay.
You have to make sure you know when he's out there, especially the power play.
He's number 29,
He's
right?
number 29. Okay. He's got that white turtleneck. He does stand out like a sore thumb. You want to keep an eye on him. Listen, he had a great game against the Blues, and as a broadcaster, a fan of the Blues, it was disappointing, but a fan of hockey, it was a pretty remarkable performance he had in St. Louis a couple weeks ago. You know, I like this game the Blues had backing up that Toronto game about a month ago where they had 2 great periods. They kind of let down. So to answer your question, a key tonight, I think, is how do you put 60 minutes together? We saw a great period the other night and 2 periods where they just kind of fell apart with the Edmonton Oilers. And, you know, what is 60 minutes of hockey? You hear it all the time, but I think it's more than anything, it's a mindset. It's that consistent mindset. It's a focus. It's a refocus on the bench, and it's just having that desperate attitude that even though you're up by a goal or 2 goals on the road, at home, you got to keep the pedal to the metal. And
Joe, with lots of injuries on board, and it's on the blue line, obviously a significant injury is Alex Pietrangelo, but with an injury like that, we're finding a tandem that has been put to work and has done a terrific job. You go back to the parts of that Colorado game where at Joel Edmondson and Colton Parayko, the McKinnon line, and then you go up against the Edmonton Oilers and Connor McDavid. Nothing at even strength right there. How impressed has that been, especially Joel Edmondson on Connor McDavid, stick on puck and keeping him to the outside the way that he did in the last game?
Yeah, terrific. You know, in Colorado, it was Parayko and Edmondson who started that power play, and Curbs and I, we missed the injury to Pietrangelo from up top, so we're seeing, oh, hey, 55-6 out there. Hey, look at this, and he ends up scoring a goal. We find out later it's because of a Pietrangelo injury, and you're right. It's the injury and then the opportunity that follows suit. Joel Edmondson is evolving, to me, to be one of the best shutdown defensemen in this league. He shut down McKinnon. McDavid, you mentioned 5-on-5. He had absolutely nothing. And Colton Parayko has just been a force back there, too. So 2 guys who have stepped up very big, and they're going to need them here tonight because, Laine, Wheeler, Scheifele, all these guys up and running. This is a tough team. And we had a conversation on the plane the other day. We were talking about the Nashville Predators being the best in the Central, maybe the best in the West. But you like this Jets team a little bit more than Nashville. Why?
Why I do. I just think their execution is extraordinary. They don't take as many chances in the neutral zone as maybe they used to. I think their ability to hold the lines and to pinch are a lot better than they used to. They used to be a little bit more of a reckless team, and you could get them on 2 or 3 odd man breaks per game. The Winnipeg Jets, they used to take a lot of minor penalties and lose their composure a little bit. They don't do that as much anymore. And obviously last year, Connor Hellebuyck won 44 games. He's still trying to, I think, find that same consistency, but that might be a career year for him last year. It's hard to match that up with another career year, but he's a heck of a goaltender as well. So looks like the Winnipeg Jets will get Dustin Byfuglien back. I mean, may or may not. They're skating right now. He's missed 4 games, concussion, with Jamie Alexiak, a big hit there on the old noggin. So they have some injuries. Morrissey on the back end, he's questionable to go or to not to go.
Joe Morrow.
And Joey Morrow as well. Your old buddy from the Pittsburgh days. I guess when I look at the Winnipeg Jets and I see Brian Little with Kyle Connor and Patrick Laine, you go, that's a good line. But really your focus is on Mark Scheifele and Blake Wheeler and Ehlers, and you go, whoa, okay, so you pick your poison right there. So when that happens, and this is why I like the Winnipeg Jets so much, is the way that they get out of their zone, the way they pass the puck, the way they use east-west so much. It's not a direct line. It's not down the wing. And so if you're a goaltender and you're respecting the shot off the wing, you better beware because they're great passers of the puck over sticks, firm and flat, and now you got a one-timer as you've got to zip across the post. That's why I like the Winnipeg
You
Jets.
really do. And Blake Wheeler, to me, he's evolving to become one of the best passers.
What a passer, yeah.
Gosh, in
yeah.
the game, he finds those little areas under sticks, between skates, back doors, and you'll see him on the power play tonight. He'll be on that right side. He's looking for Scheifele in the middle. He hits that dart across the line quite a bit, and the safety net of Bufflin having him back there. So a dangerous power play. The Blues have to stay disciplined tonight. But to mention all those lines, it's a coach's nightmare. I mean, how do you try to attempt to match on the road, especially because you have the line A line, and then you have the Scheifele line, and then Lowry's line, who's also pitching it offensively this year. One of the best shutdown third lines I've seen in the league as well. So a big test here tonight for the Blues indeed.
Okay, let's throw this one at you because I really was impressed the other night watching the game because it was an NBC Sports Network game, so I got to sit up there and take it all in. And watching Jordan Nolan back in the NHL, went to the American Hockey League with a great attitude, played a lot of minutes, almost averaging 20 a game, played power play on the PK. That line was a line in which you could see with Craig Berube, he trusted that line.
Yes.
This could be a big game for that line. I'm sure he's going to keep them together because they were so good in the last one. Someone's going to have to sit, but I don't imagine that line's going to sit.
I would hope not. I mean, Jordan Nolan on that line. I looked at that first goal again, Ivan Barbashev, and I think this is a Blues team that needs to get simpler. We need to take pride in the simplicity of this hockey game tonight. And,
you mean get pucks in deep and let's go
pucks in deep.
Yeah, track them down a little bit.
People say meat and potatoes is the old term, but
win the board battle.
Win the board battles. Win the blue lines. Get pucks in deep. Look at Ivan Barbashev's goal. It's a simple hard rim. You move it past the goalie. It's a instinctual dump in. It's not just fluff dump it into the goalie. It's a dump in with the purpose. Jordan Nolan bumps it back east west. You have the trust that a player is going to be there, and Oscar Sundqvist, who was there, and then you have Barbashev right there. I mean, it's a simple play, and Jordan Nolan was a big contributor to that play. I think if all the lines can take a note from this fourth line, who I think have been exceptional. Ivan Barbashev and Sundqvist, to me, have been two of maybe the more consistent forwards up front there for the St. Louis Blues. So, and I know they're just desperate. They're dying to get a left winger who can stay in there consistently and battle with them. And Jordan Nolan did a heck of a job there the other night and look for a backup performance here in Winnipeg.
On another note, the Winnipeg native, via Sweden, Alexander Steen.
Yes. He's like half Canadian.
Boy, he looked really good yesterday at practice. It was an optional skate before the boys got on the plane and head here to Winnipeg. Looked strong, felt confident. I guess it's the old we'll wait and see for this game. But prior to him going down with that injury against Eric Johnson in Colorado, he looked real good in the game in Detroit. He comes back and he scores a big goal with authority in the game against Colorado. Boy, the time would be right for a leader like him and a player that plays it the hard way. And when you talked about predictability, getting pucks in deep, I don't think there's a better forward on the Blues that gets the puck, gets the line, and rims it hard and to an area where that forecheck is going to be a sustained forecheck.
Yeah, that goal in Colorado, that was like just
authority,
epic.
Yeah,
authority. Alex Steen. Old school. That's the way he's played his whole career, just grabbing the puck, taking control, and putting it right under the bar right there. I think that Colorado game that he played in a couple weeks ago before he got hurt, that was probably the best game that I've seen him play probably in over a year. So I think he was just all over the place. He had 4 hits before he got injured in that game. I mean, the play where he hits McKinnon, he grabs the puck, he goes down, gets a grade A scoring chance. I mean, he's a player that the Blues desperately can use back in this lineup. He's on the road trip here. Will he make his debut again back here tonight? You know, we don't know. We'll see. But as far as just a leader, a player that just works, he just buries his head. You see him working all over the ice. He gets to those dirty areas, and a guy that's just so good for the locker room. So you sure hope he can make his appearance back in the game here tonight, because it would be a big help for the Blues.
You know what I would like tonight? I would like for the Blues to get off to the same kind of start they did here when they were leading 3-1. We know in the last they've had 2-goal leads 4 times this year, and they haven't won those games. But to put themselves in that position again.
Yeah.
And test it again and come out on top and feel a little bit, like a confident team. Like, you know what, we can do this. We can grab it.
We're learning from our mistakes.
And yes, did we get passive against the Edmonton Oilers when we had the lead? Yes, we did. Why did we do that? Many of the players said, we don't know why. Right now, that's a lack of confidence.
Yes.
But to come into a building like this and maybe to hold fort, hold serve the whole time, and come away with 2 points would give them a great deal of confidence here.
60 minutes of hockey, Panger. I think
Are you ready for it?
I'm ready. How about Seattle? So we haven't talked about this. Seattle.
Are we going to talk about Seattle right now?
2 years from now. You like Seattle? Have you been to Seattle?
I haven't been to Seattle.
You're going to love Seattle.
Okay, well, let's go to Seattle then after the game.
The Seattle. We're still kicking around nicknames. I think the Seals sounds good. Seattle Seals?
Seattle Totems? Seattle Seals, Seattle.
Sockeyes?
No way, man. The Seattle Vitalis.
Oh, wow. Okay. Taking you out to dinner first time I go
The
there.
Seattle
All right.
Pangers and the Seattle Vitalis.
We'll get there one day. Let's focus on Winnipeg, though, here tonight. Hopefully the Blues get a good
Why
win
don't we
here.
just go get a Tim Hortons coffee and call it a day?
That's the start.
Okay, so enjoy us tonight. Of course, it's on KMOX. Chris Kerber and Joe Vitale have the call, and John Kelly and I reunited back here in Winnipeg. We've got the call as well. Pre-game shows both at 6:30 and 7 o'clock is the call. Have a great day, everybody, and enjoy the game. For Joe Vitale, I'm Darren Robert Pang. See ya.